Hey, Pop Rockers, Paul with you. How are you today? We recently sat down with Gretta Ziller and spoke about her new track, St. Louis. So stick around. She'll be right after this little bit of a blurb. We're going to be talking about all different things. Like we speak about in the interviews, we ask them about their merch and their bits and pieces and where they're performing. So the best way for you to support local artists and keeping the local scene vibrant and pumping is to go to their shows. So look up your favourite artists, find out where they're playing, and head over to check them out. If not, you can head over to poprockradio.com.au and check out our gig guide. We have a range of gigs on there, and we have lots of local artists and talent as well. And if you want to support local talent, you can support them by picking up some of their merch from their merch stores or from the shows that you go to. And if you like what we're doing, simply head over to buymeacoffee.com/pop rock radio. And for as little as $2, you can help us out, help support other local artists. There you go. Circle of life. So here we are. Greta Ziller. Cheers. A little while ago, I totally forgot the times. I got the times all mucked up.
Yeah, yep, yep. It's the old other side of Australia
Yeah.
dilemma that you never quite know what the time is.
And daylight savings really mucks it up even more.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
it goes from 2
Yep.
hours to 3 hours and things like that.
Yep.
So,
At least
there
we're
are
not Adelaide.
lot
Time zone wise, I mean.
Yeah. I'm hearing you. Hey, I did mention before, and I'll just mention to everyone else who's listening, if you can hear snoring noises, grunting noises, or anything like that, it's the puppy. So I'm going to give you a quick look at the studio pups before we get into it. There's one of them semi-behaving down there. That's Terrence, and you can see Huey there.
Oh, Huey. Terrence
He's
and Huey, I love it.
There we go. There's Huey. Huey, say hello.
Hi, Huey.
Yeah, yeah. He's the troublemaker one. He's the one who instigates all the trouble.
Yeah. Small
Typical,
but
typical
vicious.
French. Typical French. Brother. So anyway, so Greta, you've got a new single out, St. Louis.
Yeah.
When did it come out? It's only recent, isn't it?
Yeah, like on the 17th.
Yeah. And
So
the
it
album's
feels like
coming out on August 25th.
it is. It is. My album, All These Walls, will be out August 25th.
How exciting is that?
I'm very excited about it.
Cool. Hey, tell us about St. Louis, because I was listening to it. It's got like a country jazz sound to it. It's like got brass and
Yeah,
trumpets,
yeah.
and tell us all
Yeah,
about it.
so, St. Louis, the lyric itself
Yeah.
was, inspired by the song St. Louis Blues.
Yeah.
It was actually, so St. Louis Blues was written by W.C. Handy. It's been performed by all the most famous,
Yep.
jazz singers, since,
Yeah.
I think Bessie Smith was like the first one. And, the song, well, My St. Louis, was a sort of thank you to all my early influences.
Yeah.
St. Louis Blues was the first song I ever performed live, and it's just about my joy of singing and my
Yeah.
joy of performing,
But
and
I'm
yeah,
gonna just interrupt. What
yeah,
WC who? WC who?
handy, like as
Handy.
in handy,
Handy.
yeah.
I've just realised something that's taken me. I don't know. I reckon this song would have come out in the 90s. Mark Cohen walking on Memphis mentions that in his song.
Yeah, yeah, he mentions W.C. Handy.
I've only just realised.
Yeah.
How many years has
So
it taken me?
so
Oh
so
my god.
I won't get extra nerdy with
Yeah.
my music history, but W.C. Handy was like he released like only like I think 3 songs I know now.
Yeah.
And St. Louis Blues was a major, major song because it was so different for a blues piece
Yeah.
of music, and it was like if you're a bit of a music history nerd, go and research the song and W.C. Handy,
Yeah.
and it's just it's a really cool
I
story.
always heard the lyric in the song WC, and I always used to think it was behind me. Used to think he was talking about the toilet being behind him on the plane
No,
or something.
no, no. Unfortunate initials, but it is a person. He was
Yeah.
a person.
There you go. I'm gonna have to go research that now. So
Yeah.
funny, funny. Hey, how do you come up? How did you come up with the song? How did you sit down and write it? Did you collect the lyrics over time? Did you like say, "I want to write a song. Here it is," or
So that song, in particular was like a labor of love.
yeah,
I'd had the idea of writing a song about performing, about
yep,
music and, the joy that I get and, I like, the version that we released is probably like the 5th write of it.
yep,
Um, yeah, it sometimes songs come out and just like as a gush and it's done and you
yep,
don't need to edit, and other times songs come out and you're like, "What is this load of rubbish I have
yep,
written?" And you need to work on that rubbish. That's the silk purse into the sow's ear
yep.
kind of thing. So oh, sorry, sow's ear into the silk purse.
Was it was it fun to
Um,
create, or was it
yeah, it is. It was a really fun song, and it kind of just organically had that sort of southern New
yeah,
Orleans sort of vibe to it. Just how
yeah,
how I wrote it wasn't intentional. It was just, you know, it just worked out that way.
yeah,
And yeah, we kind of went, well, let's put horns on this to
yeah?
make it even more.
'Cause it sounds like a happy, upbeat song. It's a happy song, and
Yeah, yeah, it is, and the horns also, I will
yep,
confess this to you, the horns also distract from the fact that it sounds a little bit like the chord progression sounds a little bit like Sweet Home Alabama.
alright.
So
Oh, yeah, I didn't yeah. Well, there you
now
go.
you won't be able to unhear that now that I've
No,
told you.
you gotta be careful. We
Oh
gotta make
yeah,
sure you don't
yeah,
get
it's just
you could
it
get
was
sued
just
now.
it was just like the yeah, it was just the chord,
Yeah,
like the chord progression. Not that it was intentionally like that. It was just it used the same chords.
yeah. Well, you
Um,
if in doubt, you could always sue Ed Sheeran for copying you.
yeah, if in doubt, to Red Sheeran. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, no, that's cool. So what about the rest of the album? How did you go with that?
Yeah, so the rest of the album sort of leans along those same similar themes, um, of my life as a
Yeah,
muso, my love for what I do. It has love themes, and it also has, themes of doubt and
yeah,
struggle, and the title track, All These Walls, is sort of a little bit of a political song, or it's
yeah,
just a social commentary song about, how there are many more walls
yeah,
in the world these days than
yeah,
than what probably was before, lockdown started. You guys
yeah,
missed out on a lot of it, I think, and
yeah. We were
it's
protected.
you really were.
Yeah,
We kind of got a lot of um
yeah,
frustrated and bored people, and it's kind of divided us a little bit more
yeah.
than
Well, yeah, it's
what
amazing.
is nice.
It'd be nice now we've got hindsight. We can see what actually happened, and
Yeah, yeah, but I unfortunately don't think that for a lot of people is a thing.
yeah,
Hindsight
yeah,
is, I don't think people have calmed down. I think, we have taken our influences from, um, whatever, I don't personally, I don't care what side of the
yeah,
political fence you're on, but I do think that we have let ourselves be influenced by other countries'
yeah. Without a
positions on
doubt.
things
Mm.
too much, even down to, whether you agree or disagree with the former president of
Yep,
the United States, the way that people reacted to him and his office and his all the
yep,
things that he's done in the past, um, is sort of trickling into our
yeah,
the way Australians are, and that's so un-Australian.
yeah,
Like a lot of the things that he's been saying and doing, and his followers have been saying and doing, it just seems really bizarre to me
yeah,
that we would allow ourselves to be so influenced by such negativity.
yeah. We've got to make sure we don't lose our identity and things.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
I feel like we've let it, that influence us way too much. Anyway,
yeah,
that's just my opinion, and
yep.
everybody knows what opinions are
So,
like.
now to us, we've only been really doing what we've been doing for the last 9 months. So it's been a really big steep learning curve for us, and we've been thrown in the deep end, and we've been doing
That's
different
awesome.
interviews, and just recently, country style music has really come forward.
Mm,
And so your music's actually quite new to us. So when I got
yeah,
the briefing and your new songs come out, your new albums come out, I did some research. You've actually been releasing music for a while.
yeah, yeah, I have been.
Yeah. Talk us about your
Um,
early years up to now.
yeah, so I actually started off doing classical music.
Yep.
I was studying voice at Melbourne University and I was training to be an
Yep.
opera singer.
Mm.
And then in my last year of my degree,
Yep.
my sister decided that she would study at an agricultural school
Yep.
here in Victoria and started listening to country music. And that was my first um, sort of exposure to country. I'd listened
Yep.
to pop and rock and blues and classical and all of the other genres
Yep.
growing up, and then I found country in my final year of studying
Yep.
to be a opera singer, and that was kind of it for me. I kind of
Yep.
I finished uni and moved home for there was other stuff going on in my life that I had to
Yep.
move home for, and started getting into country music and really influenced by country songwriters. But sort of didn't feel right
Yep.
because it didn't something was not quite right.
That
Wasn't
story you just told
right for
then,
my style.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable how it's not that uncommon.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
I've actually heard a couple of people have gone to, that were studying, and they were
Mm,
studying, like, classical singing or whatever, and they've come out and they've changed
yeah.
into country as well. You're, like, about the
Yeah.
3rd person who's mentioned that.
There's
So,
a few of us
yeah,
that are, start off in one, in one lane
yep.
and move over, and
So
I
that's the beauty of music, you can
yeah,
yeah,
that's right. Country was sort of like, especially the songwriting was like, it just
yeah,
hit me like, just hit me hard, and that was
yeah,
it. And not that my music is country at all, but I claim my style is Americana, but I
yeah,
say that it's pop and rock and blues and jazz influenced
yeah,
sounds with a country style of writing.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
there's a hint of it in there. It's Americana. It's kind of this big fusion
yeah.
of sounds and
Well,
um,
Americana is a subgenre of country, isn't it?
well, sort of, yeah,
Sort of, yeah. But
yeah,
it's pretty good, like, yeah, like St. Louis, like, was saying, it's got a jazzy sound to it with the horns and things,
yeah.
and it's quite upbeat and quite upmoving. It's great.
Mm,
So,
thank you.
now, you've got some shows coming up too.
I
You've
do,
got
I do. I'm playing all over the east coast
Yep,
of Australia in August.
yep, don't worry about the
I'm
West
doing it.
Coast.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't feel bad about not coming here. No one comes here anymore.
You're
We've got
all it's very
yeah.
expensive. I
Oh,
would love to.
yeah,
I actually was supporting Troy Cassadaly and
yeah,
Ian Moss this time last year, and I was over there with them, and we
yep,
did a show in Geraldton,
yep,
and we were meant to do a Perth show, but unfortunately Troy had a family
yep.
emergency, and the show got cancelled. So I have been there and I have played. I had took my guitar to Western Australia.
Yeah. No,
Um,
that's good enough, that's
yeah,
good. But yeah, you're
but I
touring
would love to get back.
yeah, so you're touring all up and down, New South Wales, Victoria, ACT, Queensland, you go to Brisbane.
Go to Brisbane later in the
Tickets
year.
tickets are
Um,
available from GrettaZiller.com,
that's correct.
so
Yeah.
make sure everyone gets on there. We've actually got an article on our website that we did about your release,
Thank you very much.
um, and so what we'll do, we'll put the dates for the course, the dates for the tour are all on there as well,
Mhm.
so
That's
we'll
correct.
direct everyone to that, to either to your website or to, our article on our website. Now,
Awesome.
do you have a merch store linked to your website?
I do have a merch store. There's lots of having a sale on at the moment for all my t-shirts are
Cool.
on sale, as well as I've got pre-orders for my new album. I'm doing this cool thing with vinyl as well.
Yep,
I chose to have recycled vinyl, so I will find out what the color of my vinyl is when I get it.
yep.
And
Denim,
when you get it,
denim.
which is it's just kind of cool. Like they just had all this excess
Yep,
vinyl, and they're like, well, we'll sell it, recycle it and sell it
yep.
and make it vinyl. And I thought, that's a really kind of clever idea to just
Yeah,
instead
sweet.
of letting it go to waste and landfill. And
Yep.
I thought, why not?
Yeah,
Let's
well, we're gonna
let's
have to
roll the dice on what color my vinyl record will
yeah.
be.
If you get an order and it's got pop rock radio on it, just sign the record for us because what we're doing, we're building up merch to be able to start, giving that away to people who listen in on our live shows.
Ah, awesome.
So you can see behind me here, I've got Ella and Sienna's CD that was
Ah,
been signed.
cool. Yeah.
Um, with and on behind me over here, Rich Webb's got an album there. He didn't sign that one, but I'm gonna get another one from Rich Webb so he can autograph it. And everyone we speak to, we're trying to get as much merch together
Of
and
course.
because obviously you've got to artists need support, and the best way
Yep.
to support them is to buy their
Is
merch.
merch. Yep. Buy
'Cause I think
merch, pre-order tickets
yeah,
to a show.
go to a show, yeah, you can't
That
beat
is
that.
like a huge thing, buying tickets to
Yeah.
a show for us at the moment.
I think every interview I've spoken to in the last couple of weeks, it's all about, go to Spotify, yeah, sure, stream the music, enjoy the music on there, but,
Mm.
you know, go out
Yeah.
of go out of your
Yep.
way and really enjoy it, so
Especially, a low to mid-range artists,
yeah,
I think we're the ones that are struggling the most at the moment, like, we're not the ones that are getting big festival spots,
yeah,
but we're still touring and our tickets are $20. We're
yeah.
we're the cheap ones, just because we're cheap doesn't mean
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're not
we're
good.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we're like Aldi, we're the Aldi of musos.
Oh, yeah. Are you finding, venues are accommodating you guys?
No, not really.
Yeah,
It's hard for venues too because, you know, if they need to make money. Like
yeah,
I was speaking to a newer venue, in New South Wales recently, and they said, "Look, like we'd love to have you, but if you can't guarantee that you're going to have 70 to
yeah,
100 people at our show, it's just not feasible for us,
yeah,
especially on a Friday or a Saturday night where it's a bigger night. You can come in on a smaller
yeah,
night, but we still need to have X amount of people walk through the
yeah,
door, and that's a huge gamble.
yeah,
Like,
yep. You
yeah,
can I'm just
if
looking at
you
the, audio meter and Huey snoring's coming up, so if you can hear it, that's
oh, I
Huey.
can't hear it.
Oh, you're lucky it's loud, but yeah, we've had venues over here actually closed down. We've had a couple in the last few months closed down.
There's been a lot.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like they're saying insurance costs are going through the roof. They can't
Mhm.
afford this, can't afford that. But yet there's one around the corner from my place that is a pretty big venue, and they could be putting bands in there,
Yeah, they
and
don't well, it's not
they
you
don't.
well, they don't need
Uh,
to
yeah,
earn money. They
no,
don't need to, yeah. And, especially if you're a venue that has original music, like,
yeah,
it's tough. Like, covers are easy to sell. Like,
yeah,
just stick someone in there and they can play all night. Like, yeah,
yeah,
it's tough if you're an originals artist, and I think it's really important. I don't know if you've seen many, of the articles and social commentary that's been going around with, um you know, Australians not getting spots on festivals
yeah,
and not having the support from radio and all that stuff. That unfortunately that filters up
yeah,
in our sort of in our what we do is that the small guys,
yeah. But that's
the
my
more
pet
support the
hate.
small guys, and the more small guys that support the small guys,
Yeah,
the bigger the artist gets, and then the more recognition you get. You don't filter It doesn't filter
yeah,
down. And so what you're doing and what other community radio are doing and what other venues are doing, allowing artists like myself
we got
play. It's
we've got
huge.
three radio stations. We have,
Mm.
Pop Rock Radio, which is a mainstream,
Yep.
Pop Rock Nation, which is just Australian music that Tom looks after,
Hmm.
and then we've got Pop Rock Country, Nadia Drayton, she helps us with that. She's got a
Mm.
podcast on there,
I love
and so
Nadia.
that's 100% unique,
Yeah.
indie country and folk music. So
Yep.
she's pumping music through there, and, what's happening, like, we've grown to a size that, we want more and more people to listen to because it's on the free app. People can
Hmm.
download that app and listen to it. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to take it one step further, and I went out and looked into getting a community, like a radio license. So I had to get a community-based radio license,
Mm.
and then they come back and they said, "No, all the bandwidth is taken. Go to one of the other stations and do a show with them." But none of them actually fit into what we wanted to do.
Yep. It's
So
tough.
they don't make it easy for anyone, and the big stations, like the big commercial stations, they should be made to play at least 50% Australian music.
Yeah.
Have to, they should.
It's
France
not
do it.
something that's done in Australia. If
Yeah,
if they were made to play more, advertising was made to use
Yep,
more Australian music, if our sporting events were
yep,
made to ch- make Australian music, musos or acts
yep.
halftime or whatever shows, it just would make such a difference. But it's
Oh, yeah, yeah.
unfortunately not a thing. And then when they do, they use heritage acts.
Yeah.
Like Daryl Braithwaite gets wheeled out for
Oh,
everything.
John
Bless
Fa
him. But
John Farnham is like, he how many, retirement how many, like, this is the
he unfortunately
final.
has finally retired.
Oh, no, he hasn't,
Uh,
because he's got it in the movies. He come back through the
he's
movies.
yeah, that's true.
Then we're gonna have the movie, we're gonna have the documentary, we're gonna have the prequel, the sequel, the power of art,
Yeah.
the Hollywood is no,
Yeah, so
John
it's,
Farnham is a classic.
yeah,
Yep,
it's tough, but, like, there are people that choose to support independent artists,
yep,
and those people are gold to us.
yeah.
So, the
The
more people
AFL, they had a post out, "Who should we have on our, halftime entertainment this year at the grand final?"
yeah,
And I was like, "Yeah," because I had, obviously been in WA, pumping up the WA, Katie Steele and
yeah,
Eskimo Joe, and, they've all got new music out.
yeah,
They've been around for a while, but they've got good new music coming out, new singles and things, and they should be putting on going
Australian
around and
artists, yep.
yeah, and grabbing
To
a
to
artist.
their defense that they do around, I think it's Country Round,
Yeah,
where they have, I know a couple of artists that have played, like, in Geelong,
yeah,
before and during the game, but it's not commonplace.
no. But hopefully more people will tune into to music, because it's a great medium to be able to relax to and exercise
Mm,
to, and so
yeah.
anyway, so your
Choose
track,
choose local music rather than
yeah,
Beyonce.
yeah. So you're on all the social media?
I am literally the only Greta Ziller in the world, so
Yep,
if
easy to
folks can
find.
spell my name, they can find me on
Yep,
whatever social they're on.
Spotify?
I am on Spotify, on
Yep.
Apple, on YouTube, on Amazon, on Deezer. Uh,
Pop Rock
where else?
Pop Rock Country?
Now I'm pop rock. Now I'm on pop rock.
Yeah, cool, exciting. It's glad to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so, well, alright, well, it's coming to that time of the, afternoon. We're gonna have to start winding back. Thank you very much for joining us.
Of course.
The album coming out on the 20 let me see,
Fifth.
25th of August, so
Yes.
go to gretazilla.com and
Mhm.
pre-save,
Yes. Pre-save, pre-order, buy
pre-order.
a ticket to the show.
The vinyl, get the vinyl.
Yeah, get the vinyl.
Yeah.
You'll be the first to know what color it is.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna denim coloured.
Oh, who knows?
Yep, so thank you for joining us. Good luck with the release, the song.
Thanks.
Good luck for the album.
Thank you.
And how many albums you had before?
So this will
Oh,
be my third album.
3rd album. I thought it was,
Mm.
yeah. Because I looked on YouTube, and you had about 5 years worth of videos on there.
Yeah, there's
Well,
a few.
you're gonna be researching for a while. That's why I was late. That's why I was late.
Oh, yeah, sure.
No, thank you very much, and you take care.